Okay, so we're back and we left off here trying to figure out our null and alternative hypotheses. So let's take a look at it. So the CEO claimed 80%. And since up here they talk about can we reject the CEO's hypothesis? They're not saying can we say it's too low, can we say it's high, can we whatever. They're just saying can we reject it. So that means that our alternative is not equal to 80% because they're not giving us a direction here. Then step 2, we need alpha. Alpha is 0.05 because they say that the level of significance is 0.05 right there. Step 3, we need to find the test statistic. Now I typed in all the given information. They say that p hat is 0.73. They say that p0 was 80%, what we assumed to be true, right? And then n was 100 because the SIP hat got 100. And you're probably wondering, where did I get the negative 1.75 from? Well, what I did was I went over here and I typed in the new values that we had. So we had 0.8, so I typed that. 173 automatically happened because p hat was 0.73. It's the same spreadsheet I was using before for the previous problem. And that's kind of nice because if you set up some of these formulas ahead of time, then you can, especially Z0 will always get calculated in the same way for proportions. So as long as you have the spreadsheet set up, it'll work beautifully. All right. Now Z alpha we'll worry about in a minute, but that's Z0, negative 1.75. That's where I got that from. Okay, step 4, the p-value. Now, if you couldn't tell, I had already done this video once. It's because I made a mistake. So because this is a two-tailed test, we actually want this p-value picture over here. So let me go grab it real quick. There we go. All right, and I'm going to make it bigger. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay, so we just found that this number over here was negative 1.75, right? Negative Z0 is negative 1.75. And then by the same token, positive Z0 will be positive 1.75. Okay? Then up above, the area in both tails will be your p-value. Okay? So p equals, and now you're going to have to get it from Excel. All right, well, how's Excel going to find it? Well, you can do it a couple ways, but because it's a two-tailed test, what you can do is you can say, okay, I want 2 times the norm dist of that value, negative 1.75, times 0.01. Now keep in mind that the reason this works is because this is the lower Z0. This is actually negative Z0. It's the lower of the two. If it was the upper, then you'd have to find the lower and then do the same formula. So just keep in mind that there's also a Z0 upper, right? Because there's 2 of them because it's a two-tailed test. And that would be equal to the opposite of this one, okay? So if your sample data, like if our sample data had been 87, it would have given us this number, 1.75. And then you'd have to go find the negative 1 to go with it. Okay, so either way, this formula that we have is going to find either the positive or the negative one, depending on what your data is. Then you have to find the other one. And then to find the p-value, you'll always do 2 times, because it's two-tailed, right? So you do 2 times the norm dist of the lower one, whichever one the lower one is. So you might have to do some finagling here to find the lower one. Or you can use StatCrunch, which that was those results just for there, but I'm going to show it to you because it's so easy in StatCrunch. I mean, pathetically easy. So let me go to StatCrunch for a sec. You click on Stat, go to Proportions, 1 sample. We have a summary here, so click Summary. Now, how many successes did we have? Well, there was 73 out of 100. Now, how did I get that? Well, for one thing, my spreadsheet found it, but remember, they said it was 73% out of 100 total. Multiply those and you get 73, right? And again, if it worked out to a decimal, then you'd type in a decimal, or you'd round it, you'd round to the nearest whole number. So if it had come out 72.5, I would have rounded to 73. All right, then click Next. Our null hypothesis was 0.80, and we have a not equal to, and click Calculate. And there it is. I mean, you cannot get easier than that. It knows all it's two-tailed, and you have to do less than and greater than, and it knows everything. It just figures it out for you, okay? And that means on our picture that this value up here is 0.08. That's your p-value. Cool. All right, we're done with those steps. We'll move on to the next one.